All right. We'll see you on the other side then.
In a world of smoking stories where the good times flow, there's a podcast rolling, putting on a show. The three amigos gathered, mic in hand, you see. The Cigar Loons are calling, wild and fancy free. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The Cigar Loons are living out their podcast dream. From humble beginnings, just a thought, the spark. Now they're lighting up the airwaves, leaving their mark. They talk of life and laughter, and the cigars they hold dear, dispelling all the worries, banishing all fear. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The Cigar Loons are living out the podcast dream. Through debates and discussions, they always find a way to make you feel at home at the close of every day. With tales from their adventures and insights sharp and keen, the Cigar Loons are truly quite the listening scene. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The Cigar Loons are living out their podcast dream. So light up your stogie, settle in and hear. The Cigar Loons are talking, bringing joy to your ear. Guys Grumpy and Matthew, a perfect smoky blend. Tune into the Loons until the very end.
Howdy. Y'all there?
Hello, everyone. Greetings and salutations.
Hello. Is there anybody in there? Just not if
Not
you
if you can hear
All
me.
right, motherfuckers, we're back.
There you go. 5 minutes in, family
Right.
rating shot to crap. Even and you
Our
see,
motherfuckers, we're back.
this is what I don't understand. This is what I
You
don't
said
understand.
we had to behave, sir.
We go through 30 minutes of pep
We
talk
are.
about how we're using that funky channel that we got to behave on. And 5 minutes in, you're the Peckerwood. So what's up with that? I mean, why?
Yeah.
Is there this thing you
Yeah.
got to be? You got to
Where
be
you
the, you know, you always
What's up?
got to be the one sink the battleship or what? I mean,
What's up? What he said? Yeah.
yeah. See,
What?
want some more? I've been
You know
wanting to
something?
unload all.
But-
I've been
Hey.
wanting
We're
to
back.
unload all day long. It's ain't had a
Man,
chance.
the guy that supposedly sits in the corner is fired up tonight.
You got that? Let's preach. What we talking about? Hi, y'all. Just your
Well,
veggie
actually, everyone-
corner flower plant here.
Cheese and rice. All
I
right.
That's
said
not real
everyone
good
in the
topics,
course.
man.
We're back. Man,
Yeah.
you know something? We've had a long break, haven't we, from YouTube, and this is the thing. And we've decided we're back, and hopefully you enjoy what we've been
Guess
doing,
it's back.
because for the last couple of months we've been
Yeah,
last
come
year,
back.
if we think about it near enough.
We've been
live on Instagram.
yeah.
We've been live there on Rumble, and you know something we thought tonight?
Yeah.
I'll give YouTube a try again, and we'll come back to YouTube. We'll come back to the dark side of the Force and see what it's all about. But Of
Here I'm
course.
trying to bring light, and you
As you
taking
can
us to
tell
the
with
dark.
tonight's topic.
Constant battle.
As you can tell with tonight's show, it's going to be about generational tobacco bans. And you know something? It's one of the biggest things and topics of the moment. And of course, as we found out the other day, the Maldives have finally passed it. So the Maldives are now how the article was worded, they are the first country to ever do it. They're not the first country to ever do it. New Zealand were. The Maldives now are the only country to have a generational tobacco ban. Now, when you say generational tobacco ban, people are going, "Well, what's a generational tobacco ban?"
What is that?
If you were born after 2007, you will never reach the year they just put up to. So if it's 18, it will go to 19 and so forth. And people born in 2007 will never be able to smoke a cigar. If you're born in 2013, 2012, whichever, you're never going to be able to smoke a cigar, smoke a cigarette, or vape. It's basically generational disease stopping that new younger audience from smoking. Now, you go, okay, then I understand that and everything. But what about if I want to smoke a cigar with my child when they're old enough, when they're 18 or they're 21? Am I going to get arrested? Am I going to get prosecuted? And this is where the guidelines are not ruled out because they're not saying whether or not, yeah, okay, if you do it in your garden, we can't be seen, you ain't going to get a slap wrist or we're going to arrest you. To me, it doesn't make sense. Now, what they're saying in the Maldives, of course, of how they've done it, and to be honest with you, I think it's absolute bullshit. But it says if you're born after January 1st, 2007, you will be prohibited from purchasing tobacco products. And they said, of course, today we take a historical step towards tobacco-free Maldives. Their first lady wrote on X. As a healthcare advocate, I applaud the government's leadership in launching the generational ban on tobacco, a powerful investment in the well-being of generations to come. It is a bold, evidence-based step. That's the biggest one. Evidence. Okay, show me the fucking evidence. To break the cycle of addiction and prevent disease. We are securing a healthier, stronger future for our youth. And a proud member of the Maldives. Well, hang on a minute. You want to prove this and have a future for Maldivians that's basically so good. Get rid of your fucking heroin then. Because your state is known for being the heroin capital. Get rid of heroin instead of tobacco.
Oh, no!
You might have health for your children. Pure and simple, and it's Moldavia is known to be heroin capital. And the thing is, it gets me. It gets me that they are saying it's all to do with tobacco. So they said also the prohibition, that gorgeous word that we found out from the United States, prohibition. What did that do? They were still bootlegging alcohol. Yeah, okay. Also applies to visitors to the island.
Prohibition here.
No, we don't do well with the rules.
Which is, well, this is the thing. Prohibition. How many words do you need to use that have been proven in history? They don't frigging work. Prohibition. Everybody was still bootlegging alcohol out in the bathtub. Come on. Really think about them wordings.
You ain't gonna stop us as long as we got folks. As long as we got folks that'll pick up popcorn's torch, you ain't gonna stop hillbillies. They go. Sorry, it's just it's that East Tennessee thing coming out. But I mean, people don't want to hear the truth anymore either. See, so that's just like you said. They're going on about generational tobacco. When they're leading the world in other production, and things of that nature. But they want to worry about tobacco. You know,
Yeah.
but
To me,
you know,
it doesn't make sense. And as they've put here, the prohibition also applies to visitors to the island. So, say
I'm
us,
not going
we go
there.
to the Maldives. You're not going to be able to take you're not going to be able to take your children if your children are over the age and they're 21 in the United States and they can still smoke a cigarette or smoke a cigar. In Moldavia is now 22. Your child or your grown ass child can't smoke because of the law in Moldavia. It's crazy. It says which is located southwestern southern tip of India in the eastern Arabian Sea, which is home to
Well,
approximate 528,000
oh
people.
man,
It also said,
let me take this. It's local, but
just mute Grumpy's mic. It says also, of course, the retailer found to be selling tobacco to a person born after January 1st, 2007 faces a fine, of approximately $3,200. So if you're caught selling to someone under the age, you've got a ban. Well, you've got a fine. It's also a ban. You'll also have your licenses taken away from you and everything, but you're going to have a $3,200 fine. That is crazy when you think, because
it's a big fine.
it can be so easily governed. Yeah, but it can so easily be governed, though, Matthew. And I know Grump's on the phone, but if Grump is here, I'll be saying the same to Grump. When you go into a cigar lounge or a B&M or a supermarket and you buy alcohol, if you look underage, they will ask for ID.
Yep. If you look under 40 here in the U.S., they'll
Yeah.
ID you.
Fuck me, I look ancient then. They look at me now in the supermarket and go, "Yeah, you're fine for alcohol." I'm like, I'm underage though, and they look at me and go, "Yeah, pull another leg."
Yeah, I don't even get carded. I haven't got carded for anything. The only time I'll get so Ohio started scanning your ID if you're buying allocated whiskey now, so that they can track who's buying the allocated bottles because people were selling them to make a big profit, that kind of thing. But hey, just to interrupt this conversation just a touch, what's everybody smoking tonight?
Well, because I'm
Grumpy, we
pissed
can't
off.
hear you
I'm having a
because we
pissed
had
off.
to mute.
I'm having a Christoph pissed off.
Oh,
2
Christoph
minutes,
pissed
Grump.
off.
Let me unmute you.
now then, I've
There you
done
go,
it
Grump.
myself. I ain't
Now-
gonna wait on you. Remember the thing on the music at the beginning. You remember what it says? I'm the one with the wisdom and my feet on the ground. I can unmute myself.
Boy.
Shut up and sit in that corner.
That was
Oh boy.
that phone call, man. That was a fellow that it was a fellow I go to church with, and he always teases me about, because he sees where we do the podcast and all that, and he's always carrying on with me about that. And he thought he was dialing one of the local politicians from our little town south of me here that had retired by the same last name.
Oh my.
And it's like, no, man, I ain't made my political debut yet, but that don't mean I won't be coming out soon. if things keep going like they're going. but yeah, he's like,
you got my vote, brother.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I'm in the middle of a live podcast, but if there's something I can help you with, what can I help you with? And it's like, oh, so I called the wrong number.
What's
up, Larry?
That's crazy, that is. That's the crazy.
I didn't want to out you or nothing,
But
but
yeah,
you know.
like I said, I'm smoking the Christoph Pissed Off, of course.
We knew
Mexican San
that.
Andreas wrapper,
The way you're
Indonesian
acting.
binder.
What are
And
you smoking, Grumpy?
got great filler and great cigar.
Goddamn.
I'm waiting on Gaz to finish.
I'm sorry.
I'm
I thought he
getting
was done.
Gaz's analogy of that Christoph he's smoking. Oh,
It's
I've
got a bit of rocking
Yeah.
shit in it. It's got some good flavor. Yeah,
yeah.
there's me analogy.
There you go. Okay, but now I have chosen the Rocky Patel Sun Grown tonight. The Toro 6x52. I was reading up on this joker because I haven't had this particular cigar before. It has a mix of fillers from, I think it's Honduras and Nicaragua, I believe. I may be wrong on that, but and it may be Nicaragua and the Dominican is what it is. It's got a Nicaraguan. It's got a real strong Nicaraguan binder, and the wrapper has like it's a sun-grown wrapper that is aged for like 5 years itself. So the whole cigar has like a 7-year aging with filler, wrapper, and all. There's like a 7-year aging period on this cigar. Spicy, sweet, very cedary. But I mean, I'm just getting started on it, but it's very enjoyable though. I'm liking it. I'm liking it very well. But you know,
Nice.
that's what I got.
Nice. I've got a Grand Habano number 3 barber pole.
Mm.
This is Toro. It's the, let's see, Nicaraguan Habano, Colorado, and Connecticut, and then Costa Rica and Nicaraguan fillers. Or sorry, Costa Rican binder and Nicaraguan fillers.
No, okay.
It's quite nice.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it. So we're off to a good start. Everybody's enjoying. Everybody's enjoying their.
Of course. Yeah, as you can see down there on the screen, if you're liking what you're seeing, then please like and follow. And we'd really appreciate it if you like us and follow us.
Yeah.
But you know something, like we were saying, of course, with this and the Maldives and the fine of $3,200. If you did your work where you're working, you ID'd properly and did the IDing properly, you would stop a lot of this. You do not need a generational tobacco ban in my eyes. You could easily say to someone that looks under the age of 21, under the age of 19, or wherever you are put in your state law, ask them for ID. If they can't provide ID, you don't sell it to them. Easy as that. Now, don't get me wrong. The old days of can you go in the shop for me because I need a pack of ciggies, or can you go get me a beer and I'll give you a couple of dollars. Can
Really?
you do it for me, please, sir, or miss? Yeah, we know them days happen.
I'll whack you with my cane's what I'm gonna do.
We do.
Get out of here.
Yeah. But it's to me, how can you do it when the Maldives got that many problems going? Like I said, they're known for heroin capital. What research have you been given in the Maldives to prove this is the best option for Moldavia? Now, don't get me wrong. If you've had research, the research is going to be vaping cigarettes. It's not going to be cigars because the research they don't want to see.
No.
Because it's proven with cigars, it doesn't cause all these weird, wonderful diseases that they're saying tobacco causes. Why is it? These years ago, tobacco was used in medicine. Nicotine was used in medicine, which is where we're going to go with a point with Grumpy over this. And get
start
Grumpy
saying, why am I
because you know
here?
something? Yeah. This is the thing. We're going to talk about this because you know something. People need to know. tobacco was used and nicotine was used years ago, and we've said this about, of course, the drug climate now.
Let's go back to
A
bed.
lot of the cowboys used to use cocaine and chewing gum. You used to be given cocaine basically in the injections when you were having teeth pulled out. It's not the same as what cocaine is to this day. Of course, cocaine to this day is mixed with that much stuff. It's unreal. And I don't partake in that. And we don't talk about that. But the thing is, you've got to look. Things have changed within the time. Everything changes. But you've got to give me hard evidence of why you were putting in a generational tobacco ban, what is being proven in this ban. But what I'm going to do, what do you guys think of this? They're now in Maldives, where they've got this, they brought this tobacco ban in. What do you reckon? And then what we'll do, we'll go into the benefits of nicotine and talk to Grumpy about that, because I know Grumpy knows his stuff on that. But what do you guys reckon with this thing in Moldova at the moment?
Go ahead, Matthew. Give me your opinion on that.
To be frank,
Yeah. Even though you're
It is
Matthew, but to be frank.
horse shit. Other than that, I don't know what else to say. I mean, like,
yeah, I mean,
it's just, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand why a country would want to, one, lose all the revenue that they're going to lose because of the taxes that they aren't collecting anymore on tobacco. I mean, that's exactly what happened in New Zealand, right? New Zealand passed the generational ban, and then they were like, "Oh, shit!
You crafty fucking motherfucker!
Oh,
You
shit!
crafty motherfucker! Using my fucking words, what I've just told you before we started.
Oh no!
You crafty motherfucker!
That's not me. I'm not. That's not something I would
Tell you
do.
what,
Don't-
you give him
don't-
the
How
information,
dare
and then
you.
he gives you news.
How
Don't wanna
dare
hear it.
you?
don't want to hear it.
How dare you insult me in such a way, you English bastard?
You've done spilled my tea, so I don't want to hear you crying over your spilled tea. Just sit up there and hush.
Yeah, listen here. I
Now
will
then.
turn the ocean into a teapot again.
Can you tell we're trying to push the limits in it?
Yeah.
Anywho, but no, it's total garbage. I don't
It is.
understand the
Yeah.
point of it. I get that, like, people sometimes need protection from themselves. But I think that, when you do stuff like that, it applies to things like hard drugs. It applies to things that are actually, like, actively killing people, like, fentanyl, like heroin, like crack, or whatever you want to say. But, like, I don't understand, like, especially with cigars, because cigars are all natural. Grump's gonna get into the health shit, all that stuff, and it's like, there just doesn't, like, my mental health would go to complete shit if I didn't have cigars. You know what I mean? Like, I need to be able to let loose
Yeah.
and just relax,
Exactly.
and,
Exactly.
what am I gonna go back to crack? I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Really got out of that matrix. Don't want back in that one.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Done been down some of them roads. Don't want to go back down them for a second trip. The
all
first
right,
trip
Grumpy.
wasn't any. We were just under the illusion the first trip was okay, but
You know something
Yeah.
though. When you do crack, the only thing about doing crack,
Oh boy.
you get a brown nose after. So you got to be careful, because you go up that slippery
See.
horrible slide, don't you? You get that
See.
You're
horrible
doing the
brown
wrong
nose
crack,
crack.
guys. You're doing the wrong crack.
we can't take some of our crew out in public. Some of them cigars affect them different than they do others. Some of us go
Yep.
totally. You let us out in public while they clean our cage, and we just go plumb goofy. I mean, we talk about all kinds of strange stuff. Push them limits, baby.
I don't even see a drink in his hand. That's the
I don't
scary
either.
part.
That's the scary part, man. There's no alcohol influence there. You know, it's in British tablets or whatever it is they've got him on. I don't know, man.
I'm firing on all 5 cylinders.
Oh,
if y'all
boy.
ever hear him talk about,
Yeah, you know what it is?
Tablets,
I've got my best mug.
yeah.
Oh,
So I'm trying to help them out.
I've got my
I'm trying to
de-stress
help them
mode.
decipher.
I'm de-stressed.
What you got in that mug there?
Yeah, trying to help these people decipher. If you
Nice
hear
coffee.
the guy if you hear that guy up there talking about tablets, well, that's our prescription meds. They call them tablets over there.
We don't need to tell them that.
Yeah, I'm not swallowing an iPad or a Google Chrome. I'm not swallowing one of them. I'm not. So don't worry. I'm not swallowing an iPad. But yeah, I've got, of course, coffee in the mug. But
I would hope you weren't.
what's your point, Grump? Because you know, like Matthew just said, it's complete and utter shit. And Matthew brought up a couple of key points, and of course, I was only jesting with him before. He's brought a good couple of key points up there from about New Zealand, because as we know, and we'll get more into about New Zealand and the other proposed countries of where they're going to bring this. But I just want to get your take on Moldova. And then, of course, we'll go from there. And then we'll talk about nicotine and the benefits of nicotine. But what's your stance on this with Moldova and everything passing this?
Well, after I throw ash on my laptop, I'm no different than Matthew as far as my opinion on it being total BS as far as that goes. And
Yep.
being a child that come out of the 60s and 70s, with a lot of habits and mannerisms of that time and the thought processes and stuff. You look at this generational thing, and if you're born at the wrong time, you're never gonna legally have that freedom to enjoy a cigar. Okay? But now, when I equate this to back in when I came up through the 60s and 70s, in the U.S., here, you had to be, when the years that you had to be 21 to consume alcohol.
Yep.
Okay? You got to be 21 to walk in a club and a bar to consume alcohol. But your government could snatch you up at 18 and send you 2,000 miles away and put a gun in your hand and say, that guy there hates you, kill him. I mean, if that may be wrong for this platform or the wrong opinion for this platform, but it goes right along in there. You set those generational limits and you put something out of reach for people, but then you still expect them to sign up and serve you, and I know I've heard all of they're allowed to do this, that, and 9 other things on base and this and that. Okay. Whoopee. You can't come home and go to a bar somewhere and sit down with your buddies and enjoy a beer, because you ain't on the base. But like I said, they can put you in that uniform, and they can put that gun in your hand and tell you that man hates you. You need to take care of business.
Yeah, but you're right there.
So
you're right there on that, because you think right. You think, as me and Matthew knowing right?
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura, ex-wrestler, ex-governor, Jesse Ventura has been live on YouTube and said when he was sent to fight, when he came back to the US, he could not go and have a beer, but he could out in the country where he was fighting. And he came back as a US citizen after fighting and was treated like a child again when he got back into the United States.
That's what I'm saying.
And this is the
See,
thing. You're right on bank for the buck there, Grump. Yeah.
it's the whole, it's the whole what benefits us, not what matters, not what matters to you, the people. What benefits us, the government, or what benefits us, corporate America.
Yeah.
Because that's the other place that I'll go here in a little bit about the whole corporate America thing with the generational tobacco ban and all of that. Just whenever we get ready to free fall on that, I'll go into that, because that's kind of a, when we're looking at it right now, we're looking and talking about it from the cigar perspective, from the person who enjoys the cigar, from the person who enjoys, just like Matthew said, the release, the calming, the being able to just go sit and say, go away, world. I'm going to enjoy this, and I'm going to have this time to myself. That's all fine and good, but there's a deep underlying thing in getting rid of these, and that goes to corporate America, and it'd take a minute to get into it. So, but let's just, do what we're doing here, and we'll get to that. Trust me. I can't let that one go by.
Yeah. So, as we know, and Matthew brought up, New Zealand kind of, they passed it and realised we've made a mistake. It's the biggest thing what gets me. Well, we're gonna bring in a generational ban, but we've messed up here. Oh shit, we're gonna have to overturn it. But what they said was the reason for overturning it was basically due to the new coalition government, and it needed to secure support from the coalition partners who insisted on applying the law to fund and promulgate tax cuts. But the key features of why they did it was funding of tax cuts. So basically, the repeal was a key demand from the ACT and New Zealand First Parties, who the National Party needed to form a government. The proximity of $1 billion in tax revenue was needed to fund the tax reductions promised to voters. Number 2, political negotiations. The reversal was not a National Party policy, but a result of the coalition negotiations. The new government maintained that it was still committed to reducing smoking rates, but through a different approach. Key thing, different approach. Arguments about the black market. Well, their Prime Minister in New Zealand, Christopher Luxon, argued that the ban would have led to a rise in black market for tobacco and increasing crime, as a reduced number of the shops would be selling it. Other measures will continue. The government slated that it would continue to work on reducing smoking through educational and encouraging people to use vapes as a different tool to smoking. So you think there, right? It's just brought up 4 key points. Funding of tax cuts. Because as we know, America, England, anywhere that sells tobacco, their biggest income on taxes is smoking, is alcohol. So that's one of the reasons why they overturned it. Then negotiations in party. Well, negotiations would be in their party, also with different countries, of that working relationship, because you've got to think, if you're dealing with Nicaragua's biggest income, cigars. If you're dealing with America, it's cars and different things and all the rest. You've got to think, you've got to have that great negotiation technique with the countries. Education. This is the thing. You can educate about smoking, about the dangers of smoking. Don't do it, kids. Don't do this, kids. If they want to smoke when they get older, they are going to smoke. If you want to change stuff, and we've seen this, guys, we brought it up, and we brought it straight up in Texas, where they said, if your band on your cigar's got a cupcake on it, it can't be shown. Easy. Take the band off and don't let kids see it. Don't let a kid go in a cigar lounge where they can see cigars. Don't let them go in a shop. Don't let them go in the shop with you when you're buying cigarettes or vapes. Don't let them see that product. And this is the thing. I know you can't stop it if they're in a car with you, or if they're at home with you and they see you vaping or they see you smoking. But what you could do as a parent, or a grandparent, or an aunt, or an uncle, is easily say, look, please don't ever try this. I've done it because of this and this and this. Don't ever try it. Here we go. We've just had a comment. So
you want to know something else that works in that? Okay.
Yep, go on. So,
yeah. Well, I mean,
that's... But they stole Hitler's playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
grow tobacco ourselves now in the future problem. They won't take away cigars for poker games and possible people like, of course, Bill Clinton. Yeah.
When it comes to that, and when it comes to that person that you mentioned about their playbook getting stolen, all I'll say is look deeper into history and connect the dots. What people are, they're hanging this mantra or moniker or whatever on this fella that, Satan's incarnation, but when you look at history, the man was trying to save his own, he was trying to save his nation from a lot of the things that we're all going through and dealing with now. But God forbid we talk about that and go there, because you open too many cans of worms when you start talking about that guy. But
we've just,
another story.
We've had another comment from Mr. Morning Cigar.
Good morning, Mr.
We've had
Cigar.
another comment from Mr. Morning Cigar over on Instagram.
Keep them coming,
but cigars really help people think, too. The ritual, and that's the thing. It is a ritual. It's a ritual when you smoke a cigar.
Oh, there's all kinds of reasons behind it.
You cut it. You take time to light it and all the rest. But YouTube again, if that's how I pronounced his name right, or however he wants to call himself, he's put, of course, here. The Revenue Brothers Histories Repeated is a wasted time right. Now, you think revenue is the biggest one on tobacco and alcohol. Now, you take that away, right? What are you going to tax? What are you going to tax next? Food? Because as we know, countries and their revenue, where it comes, let's take the United States, for instance, right? Oil, gasoline, diesel, cigars, alcohol, cars. There's your biggest tax on what you are doing. Now, you take away them, where's the tax coming from? The thing is, you're then going to plummet your country into debt. You can't plummet your country into debt. You've got to have a way to make this. England has already said our biggest tax income is smoking and alcohol. But you want all these government parties all around the world that are all in cahoots with one another. By 2030, you want the whole of the world to be smoke-free. So we'll do this generational smoking ban. We'll do it here, we'll do it there, we'll do it there. It don't fucking work. New Zealand approved it don't frigging work. But you're going to do it anyway? Yeah. I can see the Maldives getting to the point and going, oh shit, we fucked up here. We need to change it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Did you have a thought there, Matthew? It looked like something ran through your head, man.
No,
Like
I
you
was
wanted to say something.
just going with the flow, brother.
Just rolling with
going
it.
with the flow.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's there. It's a complex thing. There's layers to it. They're really not. They're really not as hard after alcohol as they are tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because alcohol and the process to create the alcohol, those things have a totally different effect on your body and mind. And that is more conducive to the control things like, yeah, man,
I don't know
they could
anybody
take.
that likes alcohol.
I don't either, man. It's so depressing,
Mm.
once you what it does
It's
to
the
you, and you
worst.
figure all that out. Pushing for hemp products like fuel pellets and stuff. Yeah, I mean, people don't realize. Uh, people don't realize if you could grow a 2-acre plot, just a 2-acre plot of hemp, what you could do with that, and the things you could save on in other resources and stuff like that. But see, we can't do that. They won't let us.
No.
They won't let us use that as a cash crop. And that's more paper products. I mean, you don't need near as many. You don't need to cut down all the trees and deplete your oxygen resources and everything else. If you'll just let people grow hemp and buy the hemp from them, you can make all your paper products. You can make all kinds of clothing products. You can make all kinds of fibers. I mean, look into it. It's they try to hide this stuff, but then again, another thing that upsets me, and I'm the first to tell you, we were all educated under the same curriculum, the same educational system. The books didn't have any different information in them in the 60s when I went as they did in the 80s, when these other people went or whatever. Same system. It's just that some of us are waking up and starting to ask the questions in the areas where we were told you don't question that. That's just the way it is. Well, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Don't cut it anymore. People want to know. People are hungry for the information. And it's out there, but you've got to go scratch the dirt off of it because corporate America is not going to uncover it for you. You got to go find it.
Yeah, but you think, Grump, right? Corporate America, corporate England, whatever.
Yeah,
you gotta go digging. It's like England. When England said we're going to bring this generational tobacco ban in, I was sat here like I spoke to you guys, and I went, "Is this like hell ever going to get passed?" They've brought it, they've looked at it, they've overscaled it and overscaled it again, kept looking at it. It's still not in effect. But what they keep doing is keep threatening it. But England have got to realise, well, New Zealand's part of England. So if it hasn't helped in New Zealand, is it going to work in England? No, it's not. And this is the thing. You can't bring in a generational tobacco ban and say to people, we're going to do this, by 2030 we're going to get rid of smoking. If I didn't have a cigar to enjoy and sit, or a whiskey now and again, I'd be stark raving mad. I'd be going crazy because that's the way. You got to think. You've got to keep this livelihood. And my best thing to say is, if you're in England, go and sign the letter to send to your politician and ask them not to put in their vote for the national generational ban. And you can. I sent my letter to my politician and said, look, I don't agree on it. You need to check it out. What about the damage it will have to the shops, the damage to the importers, then the damage to the countries where it's made? come on, properly look into it. I would also say, if you're in the United States, go and speak to your politicians. Go and speak to your senators, your governors. Go and fight it. Talk to them. Sign any application. Go to Cigar Rights of America and support Cigar Rights of America. Go and fight it like the companies are doing. Because if you don't, you're going to lose your right to enjoy a cigar. We can't lose this right. You can't lose it because they want to bring in this generational stupid fucking tobacco ban. What a crock of shit in my eyes. And it is a crock of shit. It is.
Preach,
Yet
brother,
again,
preach.
the man wants to put their hand down and go, you ain't doing this. You're not doing this. You're not having alcohol. And guess what? We're going to take your rights away from you. As if you want to watch them naughty sites, we're going to take that away from you. They want to take everything away from you in life. That's the thing. They want to take everything away from you.
Crazy.
Damn the man.
Now you understand why I sound crazy. See.
Well, here's the problem, Grump.
I mean,
the older I get, the less crazy you sound.
Exactly. And that's the thing, man, because like I said, it all goes back to the fact that we were all educated up under the same educational system that was put in place by the same people that still run the place. You know, it's just that some of us are old and cranky now. And this is something you don't question, or this is just always a mystery, or no, those are answers that just don't ride well with old folks no more. You know, we're tired of dilly dallying around. We're tired of playing games. We're tired of patty caking. We're tired of sugarcoating things. You know, we're tired of trying to share knowledge and information with people and getting looked at like we're just a bunch of goofs, when all you got to do is have the wherewithal to go open a book. You know. Yeah, look at that joke. Look at that joke. That's a joke. Now, and see, whenever we get, whenever whenever I'll I don't want to steamroll with you guys having thoughts and opinions and stuff. When I get started on that whole reason, that the whole real reason why they want to eradicate tobacco,
Well, I think it has to do with the same thing that everything else seems to have to do with, and I'm just going to say one word, and you guys can agree, disagree, whatever, but that one word is control.
Mm-hmm.
You can't argue that. I mean, you can't argue that. They want total control.
That's the thing. That's what it's about, is control. Let's control the country. Let's control your money. Let's control on what you buy. And that's the thing. It is full-blown control.
That's why in the U.S., we spent years and years demonizing tobacco and nicotine products, right? Years and years. To the point where they stopped showing it on TV. They stopped showing it in movies. They stopped letting anybody but a villain smoke a cigar. They have been pushing this on the country, and then they were like, now let's go the other way with weed. Why? Because when people are high, they are fucking chill. People who are high don't want to argue. So
well,
I'm
YouTube.
Just saying, all right, if you don't see
us next week on YouTube,
you'll know why. But I'm right with him, though. I'm right in the boat with him.
You done brought up the topic, sir. This is your fault.
I'm helping him dig that hole. I'll dig that hole with him.
But
we'll rent a backhoe.
This is true. This is the thing. It is true. Yeah. You look where the adverts years ago in the States and same in England, you would see the tobacco ads. You'd see him smoking cigarettes. You'd see him popularizing alcohol. Oh yeah, go and get Dad this bottle of bourbon for Christmas, or oh yeah, and you'd see the movie stars with a cigarette or a cigar. then it slowly started dying out. Then you started seeing it come back in, and what it was people wanting to see that. How can you say, well, we're going to do a film on Wolverine, but Wolverine in this film isn't going to smoke a cigar? But in every single comic that Marvel did of Wolverine, he's smoking a cigar. Well, hang on a minute, you're changing his history. You can't change his history. You got to stick to it. It's like when they said, "Yeah, we're not going to have the Penguin in the Penguin show. We're not going to have him smoke a cigar."
Yeah, Batman.
He doesn't smoke. It soon got changed. He was smoking a cigar, and
with his
he
little
smoked
long
cigarettes and
cigarette
cigars.
holder.
But the thing is, he was smoking cigars on that show, because if you look at different bits of the history of the Penguin, cigarettes, cigars, even in the Arkham games, it's a cigar. And what they wanted to do was have that with, of course, Colin, who was playing him from the Robert Pattinson Batman, to smoke a cigar. And he finally did. And it showed him smoking a cigar. It showed the Cubans. But you can't keep taking that bit away of history and different things, because it was there. What it is a case of control. You want to control and take it. The chemicals and the products that cigarettes, stuff, cigars are all natural. There's no. Yes, my brother.
Does it sound like you're talking to me? Does it sound like you're listening to the old guy in the corner vegging? Somebody's on frequency down there. I don't know who that, but somebody's on frequency. They're going to get everything I'm saying here in a few minutes. They're going to get everything.
He's just put another comment, and he's put, I know men who smoked cigars until they were 90 plus. Damn right, brother. That's the thing.
George Burns, ring a bell? Smoke 15, 20 a day.
That's the thing.
Just saying.
You look at that. There is more chemicals in cigarettes, in vapes, than in natural tobacco. That is a cigar. The wrapper is natural tobacco. The binder is natural tobacco. The filler is natural tobacco. There's no added flavour. There's no chip chop mashed fucking crap being put in a cigar.
Even the little bit of glue they put on it to hold it together is natural.
That's it.
Yeah, it's packed in glue. It's natural food glue.
Pectin, sugar water, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
but it's natural. It's natural. I mean,
you think, yeah, but you look at a cigarette's makeup, right? Look at a cigarette's makeup. Paper. Tobacco. Right, okay, the tobacco. It's basically mismatched crap that's put in it. A filter, cotton filter. You got the paper around the cotton filter. Okay, I get people who roll their own tobacco. Is rolling tobacco the same as cigarette tobacco?
No, it's typically pipe tobacco, actually.
A lot of it. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Yeah. It's a hell of a lot different. You put a cigar down right, as we know. If you don't puff on it, it'll go out. Don't carry on burning. You put a cigarette down for 2 minutes and take your eyes off the ball, that's gone straight down to the filter. You're like, oh, okay. Because of the crap that's put into it.
And it makes it a consumable product that you've got to replenish because you're addicted to it.
Well,
and you're going to buy more.
I mean, the cigarette addiction is so much worse. I mean, like
better than
think about it. Gas. When you run out of cigars.
Remember the
which
yellow
happens
papers?
More than it should because you get a little too aggressive when you get cigars.
How old are you?
Fuck you.
What?
You can go a couple days, 3-4 days, and you're not losing your mind, right?
Right.
It sucks because you like to have it to relax, but it doesn't fuck with you the way a cigarette does.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting in the corner.
I'm
not sitting in the corner itching and going, I need a cigar.
No, when I used to smoke cigarettes, if I ran out of cigarettes, halfway through the day, and I couldn't go out for a smoke break or get far enough to a place to buy cigarettes on a break, I would lose my fucking mind. You know what I mean? I'd want to hit people. It's bad. You need it when you have it. With cigar, I can go days
Yeah.
without it.
There's a difference in desire and addiction. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay.
I'm not sure I understand that one.
I don't understand that. I need some clarification on that, but you know,
it is crazy, and
I want to hear
just want
that.
to say,
Yes.
of course, thank you to iTube for being here and watching on YouTube. Thank you to everyone that's watching us over on Instagram. So Mr. Sweets, of course, Mr. Cigar
leaving
Smoker, and
already,
everyone
y'all.
over there. No, just want to say
Okay.
a big thank you to anyone who's watching us on Rumble and joining us. You know something?
Scared me.
It's the topic of debate tonight, and this is the thing. It's always going to be a topic of debate on
There's a lot more
generational
paper
tobacco
than
bans,
There's probably as much paper as tobacco in
cigarettes, and cigars. It's always going to be that thing. But you've got to think. You bring it in, and then it finally gets in. Just think of the devastation by 2030 if it's passed worldwide. So you're going to have countries like Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic, that are the biggest producers of cigars, in Cuba, that now have lost the rights to farm because they won't be farming tobacco no more.
Nope.
Their products won't be in the world market. That's generations of family that are now out of work. You've got the owners that now have got to go and look at getting another job. Their reps, their international distribution deals all around the world, all the shops that sell the cigars and cigarettes and everything, the lounges all shut. The impact's crazy because that's a lot of people that you are putting out to work over someone smoking a cigar or smoking a cigarette. The thing is, do your due diligence, do the work. If you want to bring in a program in schools to stop children from smoking, do that. Prove the benefits. Prove the benefits to us of why not smoking cigars. Prove the benefits of why you should be bringing in a generational. Have the whole of the country pass the vote. Don't just let these senators and these politicians sit in their big high chairs and go, oh, guess what? Today we're going to bring in a generational tobacco ban. What? Let's go and fuck the country, what? And bring this in. Go and fuck yourselves, you pricks. Because the certain fact is, down in London in Parliament,
record stuck.
They've got cigars in Parliament, right? That they buy and don't pay no taxes on. You don't pay taxes on cigars or cigarettes in Parliament in the UK. But
cheeky
me,
bastards.
I get my trousers pulled down. I get royally shafted by Royal Mail and all the rest over taxes and import and all the rest. But you've got them politicians sitting in their big shiny fuck off building down in London, and they're not paying no taxes. So what the fuck's this about? It's crazy.
Do they make them still wear the fucking wigs though?
Yeah.
That's the judges. That's the judges, my brother.
Okay. So not everybody has to wear the big white powdered wigs.
They only wear them wigs basically in court if you're being done for murder, arson, robbery.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
That's
usually,
well.
no, I'm kidding.
You gotta be special to get the wig treatment.
I've only had the wig treatment twice.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, that's one reason I'm glad that, being my age, I did all my stupid stuff before we had cell phones and video cameras and all that.
Yeah.
You ain't got evidence.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm glad I
let's
didn't
get
grow
into
up in the age of YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into the next bit of it then, and of course, let's get into the nicotine health benefits, Grump. like you've been talking about, and like we've spoken about before,
Yep.
them benefits of nicotine. And like, of course, what was around for years before they went, yeah, we're going to strip this away from you now because it's naughty. Let's go give you a tap on the hand and slap your hand because it's a naughty habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked the whole generational ban thing that we're talking about, and they want to eradicate tobacco from the market by 2030 as a consumable. There's actually a deeper underlying plan behind all that, and it's the simple fact that the studies are now becoming available. And I don't use the big G for my searches. I like ducks. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I get better information when I talk to ducks than I do them boogie-eyed frogs or whatever. But you read between them lines
Quack,
for
quack.
yourself. But yeah, they're now uncovering the studies that have been hidden and covered up and printed in journals, many moons ago, at the natural benefits that nicotine has on the human body. Dissolves tumors, different things. These are things that are written in the medical journals that you can freely go look up. I would give you the guy's name that I follow and look up, but I'm not sure if that would be considered a no on this platform or not. But I would gladly share it, with anybody that wants to know, where I go to, the doctor that I listen to as far as all this.
Well, I tell you what, real quick. If
Yeah.
you go to Instagram and you go to @grumpy_cigar_preacher58, you can find him and send him a message, and he'll give you that information.
Thank you, brother.
Yep.
Thank you. I'll be glad to put you on it. But the underlying reason that they want nicotine, they want tobacco off of the market because they don't want the nicotine in your possession and you having the knowledge that you can find about what nicotine can do for your body. And Matthew, I'm not a doctor. You know this.
Yes,
we've discussed this ad nauseum. But if it were me, somebody in my family would have like a 7 milligram nicotine patch on them right now. I mean, I'm not saying change anything that the doctors are doing. I'm not saying stop anything that the doctors are doing for her. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I would add this to what else is going on and let it do its thing. Because see, if they can eradicate tobacco from the market, I was busy trying to keep my thoughts, so I didn't read that comment. I apologize. But if they can eradicate it, so we can't get it, then there's only a couple of things that are going to go on. They're going to hide it, and it's not going to be available to you. So you're not going to have something that will take care of many, many, many different medical problems. Like I said, do your research, look it up. If you need to hit me up, I'll tell you who to go follow. But it's all an underlying thing to get it out of our hands, because nicotine has more powerful benefits for our body in the natural form than they ever wanted us to find out and know. Look at old medicine. Look at medicine before the 1930s, the late 1930s. Look at medicine. They had liquid forms of the booger sugar. That came in liquid form. And they used that for toothaches, dental work, all kinds of gunshot pain, everything. They used that for pain. That was a painkiller. Mm-hmm. Okay. You look at a lot of your tinctures and a lot of your topical stuff and all that. had cannabis oil in it.
Yep.
Just saying. You look at the old medicine, look at the natural, look at the holistic natural medicine. What did we have before the 30s? We didn't have all the pharmaceutical stuff. We had the medicine man. Yes, the Indian, the medicine man in the Indian tribe. You had the shamanic healers. You had all of that, all of the holistic, all of the natural, all of the everything. Until the government got their hands in it. And now all you've got is a bunch of synthetic garbage, and everybody's sick.
Well, I just want to.
There's a reason they want tobacco off the market. And it's
Well, I just
not
want to put this
to
out.
protect your children from smoking.
Well, I just want to put this out. News is just come in, and I just want to put this out. So, there's 3 dead and 11 injured in a U.S. plane crash in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So,
UPS.
thoughts go out to the families of the plane crash in Kentucky. And sorry to see that
UPS plane, I believe.
Yeah, sorry to see that news just pop up.
Yeah.
So I just wanted
it was bad.
So, I do. It's just popped off over the computer, and I was like, "Oh, I better."
But yeah, there's underlying things. Chiropractic. Hey, ain't nothing. I know a lot of people are against alignments and stuff like that, but hey, they say they don't hold, they don't stick, but I've had adjustments that have been wonderful. So I don't have a problem with chiropractic at all.
No, but you think, right, and we spoke about this the other night, right, Grump, when we were on TikTok.
Yeah.
And we were on about the medicine man and different things.
Uh-huh.
You think when the Native Americans used to get together, they would smoke in the pipe tobacco. It'd be their powwow. It'd be their get-together. You look at the Incas. They used to put the tobacco in the mouth and chew it for the nicotine release and the fix.
Exactly.
It's been there, putting coca plants in and getting that.
Yep.
The thing is with me, right, my house not being the greatest, as we know, between us. Now, when I went and I had a fall down the stairs and I really knackered myself up to the point I damaged more the vertebrae in the neck, the doctor came to me and he goes, "Well, do you smoke?" I'm like, "Yes, doctor, I do." "What do you smoke?" "Cigars." "Okay, increase it." I'm like, "Where are you from, doc?" He goes, "Nicaragua." "Increase your cigars."
Yeah.
He's
Help
like,
our economy,
"Okay,
man.
doc."
Smoke more.
"Okay, doc." Yeah, I'll smoke more.
Help
And
our
you know
economy.
something?
Smoke more.
I have had scans on my lungs. I've had the doctor listen to my lungs. And I've been smoking cigars 16 plus years. And I've got no problems with my lungs whatsoever. I did more damage to my body with alcohol and prescription medication that I am on now. I'm doing more damage to my system than having a cigar. When my liver's starting packing, my kidneys are starting packing because of being on all the opioids, and I'm not taking me off the opioids.
Yeah,
you don't want to suggest the natural remedies.
That's the whole thing, though. See, I mean, and really, and like I say, it's probably better, that I don't go off on that tangent, while we're live. But I mean, there's so much to be said about the way we're doing things. It was laid out for us. We've had the blueprint laid out for us for eons. How to use the natural resources that were put here on this earth for us. Our bodies were designed to operate on natural things, not synthetics. I don't know any other way to put that, you know, but anytime we can get back to something natural, and I mean natural when I say that, I mean something, you know, and I don't want to go Bible on you, but if I have to, I will. But he gave us all of the plants, the herbs, and, you know, the trees. He gave us all of these things, these seed-bearing things that reproduce themselves. He gave us all these things for the goodness of our body and our health. You know,
Hell, bee
that
pollen is really good for you.
exactly, bee pollen, just the little things that we've gotten away from, and we've replaced it with a pharmaceutical, you know, because they've villainized natural medicine. They've said you're whacked, you know, you're crazy. That's buffoonery, you know,
Yeah.
that's witchcraft, that's magic, that's voodoo, that's, you know, that's all that hoogie boogie woogie stuff, you know. And then that
Yep.
takes me off into the whole church thing, and that's where I really don't want to go, you know, because when I start comparing how we do church and how church is, and when I start showing people and pointing out to people that the things that we do, only we do it under another name,
Mm-hmm.
are the same things that these Wiccans and these pagan people and these other evil worshipers do, only they do it under the name of their higher power. But when you start trying to point that out to people, out come the pitchforks. That's why I don't. That's why I don't try. I try not to venture off real
Maybe
deep into that pond. But you know, there's
it
only
that
one power source.
that's pretty easy to explain, at least like as far as traditions and times that we celebrate certain things. It all has to do with making the church more comfortable for pagans so that they can recruit them.
Yep.
But
I mean,
The thing
but
the
but
thing
it's
is, you look at churches, right? And we're not gonna go full blown religious, but you look at churches, right? Your modern day churches, where you go on a Sunday, go on a Wednesday, you preach, you pray, you listen to the sermon, and everything of what they're giving. Then you go to a different church, and it's all about give us your money, give us your money, give us your money. What's that all about? Because that isn't being a Christian when you're begging for money. If you want to make a donation to your church, then you can. Not sit there and go, give us your money, give us your money, and then
yeah,
have this nice big.
tithe is very much in the Bible, but
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
but
tithe
come
is
on,
10%.
look at the preachers that are all over the
Oh, I
TV,
know. Driving their
and then
Ferraris and their Land Rovers and
yeah,
their
and then they go and buy a plane
Well,
from
Mhm.
Tyler
yeah.
Parker and go, oh, I needed this plane.
Now
Bullshit,
Yeah.
you needed a plane.
you
Bullshit.
you want to hear us? You want to hear a piece of information that's finally surfaced that a lot of people never realized for a long time,
Oh, do tell, my friend. Do
without
tell.
mentioning any names. But you're talking about the TV mega personalities and all. One of them, one of them, has all their whole church facilities, parsonage, all the runways for their jets and everything is sitting right on top of an oil field, and they've been pumping oil. They've been pumping oil for years. That's why they're worth
Mhm.
Doesn't
billions.
surprise me.
Now I don't know
Doesn't
which one I
surprise me.
might be talking about. You know, that
I was
owns
going to say,
landing
doesn't surprise
strips
me.
and multiple jets. But when I look into their eyes and they get one of those 1,000-yard stares and they're pointing fingers at the reporters, you know, and giving a reporter down the road, look in them eyes right there. Look in those eyes. If you don't see snake eyes, you ain't looking, you know. But that's just my opinion. I'm that's for educational purposes only, you know.
There's
that
too
may
much.
or may
There's too
not be
much.
true. Do your due diligence and research.
The thing
Don't
is,
believe the old man vegging in the corner. I'm just here.
no, but you can go. You can go and do your due diligence and all the rest. You've only got to go on YouTube,
Yeah.
like we're on. You're on Rumble. Just look at the videos. It's out there. It's out there. You've only got to look
The
at
truth is
Scientology
out
and the amount of stuff that's on Scientology that is out there on what Scientology do.
I don't want to get into Scientology.
Well,
You look at the Illuminati party and what they control.
That's a whole nother podcast, brother.
Them's all
It's
kinds
crazy.
of podcast ideas right there, man. We can do a whole night on them things.
It's crazy. And this is the thing. You look at them. They are governing. They are governing. The same as you look at the governments now. They are governing us on what we've been talking about.
Exactly.
They are doing the same. They are. They're all in the same pot and pissing in the same pot and going, we're going to do this to you.
They tell you.
Yeah.
You just gotta see through the BS and decode it. But they tell you. That's like something else that I can't get over. As far as people telling you themselves and putting it in your face, and people will totally deny it. And that's the whole going to the moon thing. I mean, not to get off on it and preach on it or nothing, but when the man who was the one who was stepped off up there sits and tells a little girl in elementary school, it could have been scary, but we didn't go. When that very man sits and makes that statement to a child who asked that question, and then to another child, he says, that's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. But I think I know the answer. We had to win the space race at all costs. Even if we had to lie to do it, we had to win the space race.
That's what it was, wasn't it? It was
but they sit and tell you to your face. But still, people argue to this day. And the very guys.
Something? I will say one thing on that, right? And this is the way I look at it. And I've sat hard and thought about this. Anyone that was involved.
How you sit hard.
Yeah.
Brother, every time I see you. But yeah.
He smokes the house
I'm gone off
out
topic.
every time he thinks.
But no. You look at whoever was involved, right? And how it was all put together. The scene where it was filmed in a basement and all the rest.
In a Hollywood basement.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah.
Told you.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
They told you.
I think for anyone that was involved in that, there's this big mass cover up. They tried to cover it up for years and years and years. Anyone that was involved, and I'm gonna put it out there, they might have scared them off. Look, you talk about it, we'll come after your families, we'll do this to you, we'll ruin your career. You'll never do this, you'll never do that.
Yeah.
And it's taken Buzz to go, hang on a minute, we didn't go up there. We didn't go up there. We didn't do what you think we did. And it's now got to the point of NASA have even said, as you know, Grump, this will be the first time going to the moon. Hang on a minute, you're supposed to have already gone to the moon.
But see, then they add that statement. Then they came in there and they added that statement that it'd be the first time that we have people on the moon and in low orbit at the same time. They came in and added that little, so that they had to include the space station up there, doing its thing. So, but yeah, I mean, people didn't want to hear it, and that's the whole thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing. See, people will only hear and accept from people that they want to hear and accept it from. See, there was a group called the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The song lyrics told you the whole story about what's been going on for years, but you didn't want to accept it. You didn't want to hear it because it was song lyrics from a group called Red Hot Chili Peppers. So that dismissed it right off the bat, because that ain't where you expect to hear any kind of truth like that. Heaven forbid it being some song lyrics hidden somewhere, and you have to look at it and look for it. I mean, they're not going to come right out and put it in a neon billboard, but they've got to tell you.
I will say the Red Hot Chili Peppers are not known for their lyrical subtlety.
Nope.
Well,
a lot of bands on.
With lyrics like,
a lot of bands on.
What I got, you got to give it to your mama.
Yeah.
What I got, you got to get it, put it in you.
You look right. Red Hot Chili Peppers. One of the things that gets me, and I'm going to say it, and Grump, I mean no offense to this whatsoever. I've just spoken about this, right?
Yeah.
Where we said about this, about the guy with the airplane. Just look at Phil Collins and his song. Not I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight.
That's just the song I love.
And he's Jesus, he knows me. And he knows I'm all right. Yeah. And he's telling on the billboard of a picture magazine. And he's showing you there's basically, you're going to have these big, massive preachers going to be on all these TV screens selling you all these fancy things. We'll sell you a bottle of holy water. That's basically water from the local tap. He's telling you straight there in that song.
But
what's
we
going to
prayed
happen.
over it.
Yeah.
Made it holy. We prayed over it. Made it holy. I mean, but yeah, exactly.
There's loads of music. There is.
And the thing about it is everybody has been so indoctrinated, and they've been so, inundated with all of this stuff that you can come cutting through with the bare truth of things and show it to them, and they're not going to believe it. That's right. No. Because they've already got their minds made up. So you can't convince people. It's hard to show people that Jesus was actually talking about a whole different spiritual ball game than what these people make it out to be. He was talking a whole different spiritual level. Follow me. You're going to do even greater things than I do. Okay? We can't get over. We can't get past the fact that society tells us that if we exercise our spiritual power in the same ways that Jesus did, we're mystics, we're wizards, we're seers, we're all these bad, ugly names. Samuel was a seer. How do you think them prophets? How do you think they had those visions and stuff? Manifestation. How do you think things come to be? All these things are in the Bible. And it's all spiritual power, but because society tells us it's magic, it's witchery, it's sorcery, it's this, that, and the other, we won't walk in it. We're afraid of it. We stay away from it. We shy away from it.
Something? I cheap spot there. They are doing it now with the media, lie after lie, and we're gullible enough to believe what they're telling us. And the biggest one that I've seen today, and I'm just going to finish off. I'm going to finish on this one. So basically, Donald Trump was talking on national news in the United States, and he's going, we're going to go down, we're going to fight this, we're going to bring this straight to Parliament and blah, blah, blah. And he's saying it in a speech of what he's going to do. It's now come out as the BBC, our biggest news thing of the UK that has covered up that much bullshit, covered up that many wrong-uns and all the rest, have doctored his interview on what they wanted to be said. They didn't use the proper video. They doctored the whole thing. And it's finally come out in the media today. So you can tell straight there, like I choose just spoke. It's lie after lie after lie of what the media put out.
Yeah.
To prove it.
Guys,
And they double down on it.
sorry to
Yes.
interrupt here, but I've just received some news. I need to go. I will talk to you guys in a little bit, okay?
Okay.
All right, brother.
Cheers.
All right. All right,
Got you, brother.
Until next time, don't start none, won't be none. They'll finish.
All right, love you, brother. Speak to you
Yeah,
soon.
man. Got you. We got you covered, brother.
But yeah,
All right.
So it's crazy. It's crazy on what you're seeing. This is the thing, but
Like I said, they double down on that stuff. You know, they act like we bought it the first time. So let's run it again in a different fashion, and see if they'll buy it the second time. Well, we didn't buy it the first time. No. We're just looking at you like you're a big buffoon trying to pass off a bunch of nonsense. You know, you're a joke to us anymore. That's what the media is. It's a joke to us anymore. We see through the games.
They can't get nothing right. They can't get nothing right anyway. And the thing is, when they do get something right, they always mess it up. And this is the thing with the media. I don't believe a single thing what comes out to most of them. And you know that, Grump, as much as me. You'll see one side what they're saying in the United States. And when we get together and I'll be like, have you seen this?
Yeah.
Well, that was different. That's different to what we're seeing on the news in the United States to what you're seeing in the UK.
Exactly. See,
playing off one another.
That's the whole thing that's part of the game that I think they're missing. The media and stuff. I think that's a part of the game I think they're missing. Is they don't realize what social media. You know, they don't realize that social media it connects friends and people and stuff in all different parts of the world. We can sit and compare, you know, what your news is showing you, what my news is showing me. You know, we can sit and compare that. You know, we used to not be able to do that. You could get by with the BS. You could tell us whatever you wanted to tell us. We didn't have any other choice but to either believe it or not believe it, but we didn't have any way to prove you wrong. Now we do.
The thing is, Grump, you think if you had a friend in the United States, right, you were a pen friend, you would send them a letter. You probably didn't get a letter back for near enough a month to 2 months. Yeah. And things are changed now because you've got Facebook, you've got YouTube where you see things, you've got, of course, WhatsApp, you've got Instagram, TikTok, all these different social media platforms where you can talk to people and then you can have the conversations like what we have. And this is the thing.
Exactly.
We learn different things from one another and we talk about it and go, well, that ain't what they're saying here, my brother. So what they're saying over in the United States, well, this is what they're saying. Well, that's wrong. And we've spoken about this, what they say about England. And it's like, yeah, they're all going to have digital ID. No, we're going to fight it. We don't want it. We're going to fight it.
Yeah.
But it's stuck in the States. That's what's been saying. Well, England's going to have this digital ID. Well, no, we're going to fight it. So
see,
what I want to do anyway is say thank you to everybody. Come and catch us next time because we'll probably end up going down this into digital ID and, of course, the conspiracy theories and more. Because you know something, we brought up a lot of topics tonight that we're going to be bringing up on the show, and we hope you've enjoyed. And of course, tonight we've been talking about generational tobacco ban, the effects of what that can do. And like we said before, if you're in the United States, go and support Cigar Rights of America. If you're in the UK, write to your politician. Tell them you do not want to see it happening. Fight for your rights. Hopefully, we don't see it coming out anymore. But if we do, then we'll bring you the news like we always do on the podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight on YouTube and on Instagram and on Rumble. If you like what you see, then please like, subscribe on YouTube. It is free. And we're going to try and be back more on YouTube. Like I say, tonight's been a great night to come back and a great subject to talk about. We hope you've enjoyed. And we'll see you next week. And of course, next week will be Instagram. We'll be live on YouTube if we don't get bananaed. But we'll be live on YouTube.
Well, no.
We'll be live on Rumble. And, of course, you can always catch up there on Spotify. And, you know something, what we've seen and why the reason we've come back tonight here is Meta. So Meta, who own Facebook and Instagram, when we go live on Instagram, we cannot post the full interview straight after because it's telling us you've got to have a video that's a minute long. Because you're streaming it, they don't want you streaming now and uploading your video. Facebook are giving you 30 days and your video's taken off. Of course, why we've come back tonight, and we hope you enjoy, of course. If you're new to our channel and you've been watching tonight, go and check out our interviews there. Go and check them out on Rumble. Go and check out our Instagram. You can find our Instagram at the Cigar Loons Podcast. You can find myself, of course, at Rocky_Cigar_N_Pipe_Reviewer. You can find Grumpy at Grumpy_Cigar_Preacher58. You can find Matthew at Vital and Proof. You can find the Cigar Loons. Come and look, see what we're doing because we all post different cigars. We talk about cigars. We're brothers. We're friends. This is why we do this. And much love to Matthew if he's watching. And we'll definitely catch up with you, brother. We will. But for me, stay smoky, Grumpy, to finish the show off, my brother.
Yeah, man. I always appreciate everybody that comes in. The questions, love them. We could always use more interaction, so share with your friends. Tell them you found some crazy people that just everyday guys that sit and talk about cigars and, you know, other things in the news that are pertinent to what's going on. Yeah, we get a little crazy. We get a little off track sometimes, but you're not going to hear anything from us that is going to be some kind of blatant BS lie. I mean, anything that we talk about, it most all the time, is very easily, you know, you can very easily go search it for yourself. You know, we're not big on putting all the receipts up there, but you know, we're glad to share information and where we find stuff and all that. Just come and see us, you know, just ask. But there's things and restrictions and boundaries you have when you're in this live environment, things you can't say, things you can't do. But yeah, we do have some alternative views on a lot of things, you know, and we love to have interesting conversation. And I appreciate every one of you, you know, that tune in to us. Helps me keep my brain, you know, functioning. But like I always want to tell everybody, I love you, love every one of you. Abba Father loves you too. But if he's not driving your bus and he's not leading the charge, then you need to pull over to the curb, swap places with him, and let him drive because he does better than all of us do. And until you see me the next time, it's old Grump with my conspiracy theories just vegging in my corner. Love y'all.
7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, midnight in the UK. Come and catch us next Tuesday. We are live. Of course, YouTube, Instagram, rumble.com. Catch us on, of course, Spotify. Search everywhere on social media for the Cigar Loons Podcast. We'll catch you next week.
In a world of smoking stories where the good times flow, there's a podcast rolling, putting on a show. The three amigos gathered, mic in hand, you see. The Cigar Loons are calling, wild and fancy free. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew ever thoughtful with a quip and a glee. The Cigar Loons are living out the podcast dream. From humble beginnings, just a thought, a spark. Now they're lighting up the airwaves, leaving their mark. They talk of life and laughter and the cigars they hold dear, dispelling all the worries, banishing all fear. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The Cigar Loons are living at the podcast dream. Through debates and discussions, they always find a way to make you feel at home at the close of every day, with tales from their adventures and insights sharp and keen. The Cigar Loons are truly quite the listening scene. Oh, guys with his laugh, a booming joyful sound. Grumpy with his wisdom, feet firmly on the ground. And Matthew, ever thoughtful, with a quip and a glee. The Cigar Loons are living out the podcast dream. So light up your stogie, settle in and hear. The Cigar Loons are talking, bringing joy to your ear. Guys Grumpy and Matthew, a perfect smoky blend. Tune into the Loons until the very end.